That's the most disgusting process of watching anyone create content. Like, is watching them then, like, constantly pull up and, like, look and wait for the likes. And then Andrew is, like, so enchanted by himself, he'll giggle to himself when someone, like, someone he admires will, like, write a smiley face or a crying laughing face. He'll be like, like he'll laugh to himself. It disgusts me.
It's a dog's life. It's like how I feel when I look at a dog and I'm like, look at you just sitting there in the sun.
Yes, it's
just
a dog's
sleeping all
life.
day.
I didn't really track the controversy with the Academy Awards this year, but people are mad that there are no
It's very whitewashed.
female or black or like
no female directors.
Yeah.
Like Greta from Little Women.
Right.
Oh, right.
And Us was not nominated at all.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one more that was really big, and I can't remember.
Right.
Oh, people were expecting Hustlers to be nominated, and they were up in arms about that. And I'm just, like, Jennifer Lopez is Best Supporting Actress. I'm like, well, I haven't seen it, but is it called Hustlers
It's
or
called
Dance?
Hustler. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you see it?
I saw it, and it was fun, but it wasn't Oscar
It's not
worthy.
an Oscar
No. I mean, she looked great. She could get an Oscar for her butt.
She should.
My sister
More
started
work
doing
goes into
squats
that
after
body.
that movie, and her ass looks incredible now.
Really?
She got a squat app, and I did it with her like 2 days in a row. I'm like, this app is great. I'm gonna pay for it when I get $5.
What is it called? Squat?
I don't know.
App?
I'll find out.
Yeah.
But it's got an animated lady squatting. My sister's ass has completely changed. It looks so
Wow.
cool.
I'm going to start.
All because of Hustlers.
Oh, will someone love us then once our asses are tighter? It's like, who cares? Like, I don't know.
No,
I'm
I'm angrier at her.
Yeah, to have a good ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Mostly that.
Yeah. Just,
I resent her perfect ass.
yeah, but honestly, maybe Jennifer Lopez does deserve a nomination for how good of shape she got into. That shows some kind of work.
I mean, she did a great job, and I think people's expectations were probably really low because it's like J.Lo, but she acted really well. But
Yeah, she's a
wasn't-
great actress.
She wasn't up there with, everyone else.
Why though? Like, what?
I
Like,
think
just
because Hustlers is a silly movie. The Academy
Yeah.
would look down on it. Like, this is a movie about strippers and Cardi B is in it.
everything is just so fake. I gotta be honest. It's like everything is fake. Like the fact that the Academy Awards are like, oh, it's so pretentious and fake. Like, it doesn't, none of this matters. And I don't mean to be like, I did mushrooms over the weekend and now nothing matters. I didn't do mushrooms over the weekend. But that's how I'm kind of approaching this. There was this one scene in Succession, which I've only seen 3 episodes of. But the first episode of Succession, you don't like it?
No, I tried it. I can't. I can't do it.
Everyone loves it.
Me too.
I don't
hate
care
it.
either.
That's how I felt too.
It's
And then I
so
got past
bad.
episode 3 and it's so good.
No,
Maybe
I
have to
know
do
it's
that.
good.
That's as far as
Yeah.
I got.
I just don't care
Ugh.
about TV and that much. And I just don't want to waste my life. I'd rather read a book that's going to like make me a better person than watching a show about terrible people.
I can't read anymore. It's too hard.
Yeah.
I'm distracted. I'm like, I would rather watch a TV.
You need to watch Hustlers with the closed caption.
Yeah, it's
next
like
time.
a book.
Then it's like a book. That's how you're going to solve, because obviously you had no problem ingesting that.
What are you
movie.
reading right now, Carmen?
Oh, God. I was reading a self-help book. The one that you were telling me about at the cellar, you and Dove.
Yeah, which one was that? That
Something,
night.
a couple, sex couple, come on.
Cupid's Poison Arrow?
No.
Getting
Oh,
to
it's,
I Do? Women
no,
Love
it's
Bitches?
Esther Perel.
Yes.
Men Hate Cunts?
Yes.
Mating in Captivity?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I started, but again, I stopped. It's been
Listen,
like
it's not
same.
fiction. It's
I've
not
read
going to pull
4
you.
pages of Mating in Captivity.
Yeah.
I don't know what
And
had
it's-
stopped me from getting to chapter 2.
It's not.
good. That's
It's
how she
not.
talks.
It's not that I'm not reading. I forget. There's too many things in the world.
Too many things in the world. What you need is a good piece of fiction to get you reading and motivated. Like the book I want to get back to the Succession quote really
Yes.
quick, because I just kind of like didn't button that up. But the line in Succession, it's is it Kieran Culkin? Macaulay Culkin's brother.
I think so.
I think it's Kieran, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Macaulay Culkin's brother. We all know who that is, right?
Roman Roy.
Yeah, Roman, Kendall's brother on the show. This guy is only associated with being a brother, but he he walks into the office and he's doing some kind of like saging. He used to work at this like used to work at this like firm, and they're all like in suits and like stuffy, and he's like saging the place, and he's just kind of like bullshitting and laying on the couch, and it's just like, you guys are like whatever. But he's walking out, and he says some kind of joke that makes everyone kind of like, oh, and he goes, oh, so serious, I'm in a suit. And he was just like, and he just like laughs at them, and just saying I'm in a suit so serious is, and all of a sudden I don't know why I was just like, why does anyone wear suits? It's so stupid. I used to watch my dad leave for work every day with a tie and a suit, and it's like, why do you have to wear a suit to be taken seriously?
Your dad was a plumber.
I know.
In a suit. No ass crack there.
But like everything is fake. Any kind of like the other day I was looking at some woman was asking for advice from something, and she was like, "Can I go to a it was some Subway ad that was like, even though it says black tie option, it was something about going to a wedding and worrying about, am I allowed to wear this casual dress at this wedding?" It's like, there's no laws about when people say you can black tie optional or black tie required. You're not gonna end up in prison if you don't wear there's no rules. Like, you're doing the Tonight Show on Friday.
Yay!
With Jimmy Fallon. Carmen Lynch, set your DVRs. She's gonna be on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon on Friday. There's no rules on that show.
I know, but you get in your head, about the outfit.
About the outfit, about the jokes, about everything.
Yes.
Like, the only rule is that you have to stick to a time, because they'll literally cut you off. But other than that,
have fun is really it. Because everything else.
There's no rules.
Yeah. And it's funny, I don't know if you're like this, but I go through my head and I'm like, okay, what am I going to wear? A dress? No, I've already worn a dress. I want to wear pants. Are pants okay? Can I wear pants? Let me watch other women on Fallon. They wore pants. It's okay. And it's like, what?
Do whatever you want. Yeah. Go out naked. Well, you can't do that. But like, you could. You can we can do whatever we want. Adam Sandler goes on these Tonight shows wearing a t-shirt and like sweatpants.
That's true.
And he's like one of the most successful. Like, you can do whatever you want.
No bra, white tank top.
Oh my God, can you imagine? There's no way would they even
shorts?
let me out like that? I don't think they would.
No, I don't think you could like show nip.
Oh, that's true.
But if they were just poking out a little bit.
Look at Aniston.
Aniston last night, the SAG Awards.
She was not sagging.
No, she was not. She looked fantastic. She was wearing a white dress. She looked amazing.
Insane.
It looked like it could be like a wedding dress. And then she's spotted backstage with Brad Pitt.
It does look like a wedding dress.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
From her second wedding that didn't work
out. She looked seriously so good. She looks
great.
Better than ever. And there's a picture that came out of her backstage with Brad Pitt. Did you see it?
I saw
the internet's
headline.
going insane.
What happened?
It's so hot.
So what happened was she won a SAG award. She won a SAG award for the morning show, right? And she's and apparently Brad Pitt had just won an award before her. He was backstage. He's backstage when she is accepting her award. And they like film him watching her backstage. Like, so he's standing there with his award by himself, watching his ex-wife.
I saw that, yeah.
So everyone's talking about that. Oh my God, he stopped to watch. What is he gonna do? Not watch? He didn't want to watch. Like, I don't think that means he loves her or wants to get back together. But then then she comes backstage and they cross paths, and they hug. And there's like pictures of them hugging, kind of briefly, like a quick hug. And then there's a great picture of her.
Find the one
walking
where he's,
away.
Clutching. He's like clutching her.
She's walking away. She's like pushing on his chest. She's turned around. You only see her back. She's walking away from him. She's pushing him, and he's grabbing her wrist like, come back. And it's so...
And he's so much stronger than her. He's hardly even moving. And she's got these long, lean arms. Like she's some kind of...
She just looks like she's going, nah, I'm good. Thanks.
That's very Me Too right there.
But look at her
That's a Me Too
haunches.
picture.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, her body's incredible.
Yeah.
And they have such sexual body language. He's like,
They really
come here.
No, they don't.
I think they do. Look
She's
at his
like,
wrist. How he's like, yeah, that's nice. You're walking away. I'm holding you.
oh, the wrist grab is a sexual grab.
Yes.
That is an intimate grab. If
He's
we're going to
had sex with
investigate it,
her.
if you go to my Instagram story, I have it zoomed in on there that embrace because I am fascinated by his grabbing her wrist, her being like pushing on his like chest, like lower abdomen or upper abdomen area, kind of being like, I'm good. It's a great picture. It says so much. I don't think they're getting back together.
No.
But I think he would. And I think it's up to her. Isn't it good, Carmen?
I mean, her arms make me ill. That's all I can look at right now.
Ill and envious way.
And like your sister's
In an
ass
Andrew Collin
way.
grinding way? Right.
Yeah.
They were really cute together, though. Come on.
They were so cute together.
And, you know, after you become friends, I wouldn't know because I'm not friends with my exes, unfortunately, not on purpose, but it just doesn't happen that way. But, you know, every once in a while when I am friends with an ex, it's kind of nice. There's no pressure and you're just like, hey, what's up?
I've had that vibe, though, with an ex where it's like, I know we could hook up tonight, but no. And it feels so good to do that. Bye. But then I've also been I don't know if I've been the one grabbing on, but like it feels so good when you're like, oh, now you want me back? You can't. But I also think that maybe I don't know. Who knows?
When you can take it or leave it.
They both
it's
change.
the best.
I'm sorry. It's going to be very hard for her. I would imagine it's going to be hard for her to forgive him going to a movie set while they're married, meeting another woman, marrying that woman, having 18 kids with that woman, adopting another dozen or two.
It's a blip, Nikki.
Where is she anyway? Where is Angelina?
I believe she has a place in LA and then probably multiple other places, but she's good. She's thriving, but like
she's eating a popsicle somewhere in a basement on a treadmill. She's like, this is all you get today for lunch. I think that's true.
Really?
What I just said.
Really? Have you heard that?
I've heard she's a compulsive exerciser.
Oh, duh. I mean, like these people
But you never see it. She's so pale, and that's why I think it's in the basement.
Oh, right.
It's
in the cellar.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's just hearsay. But I do appreciate her work.
Yeah. No, she seems like a good person who's up to a lot of good things for humanity. But like it's gonna be a little bit difficult for old Aniston to forgive. I think.
What if he was like, what would you do if he's like, look, you know what I did, 15 years, I don't know, 10 years ago, it was so stupid. I just got caught up in the moment. We're so good together, Jen.
It would take one nice text. That's what we were talking about last night.
Dude, you could always get us back.
Yeah. One well-worded text.
If we loved you once and you broke our heart and we were pining for you during that time when you were breaking our heart and we were begging for you back and there was like this time of like us wanting you, the only reason we didn't end up taking you back when you came back around is because your apology sucked.
Yeah.
If you own up to what you did, and last night, our friend got a text from her ex being like, I want you back kind of thing. And she's just like, a little too late, dude.
Yeah.
Like this would have been nice 3 months ago or even 3 weeks ago, 3 days ago. It probably would have worked. But now I'm just like, I don't really need it. But if you looked at the text, I was like, honestly, I could get you back tonight. If I got his phone and wrote a text from him to you, I could get you back tonight. I could be in bed with you tonight because I know exactly what you need to hear. You need to own up for what you did. You need to actually acknowledge your part in it. And then also offer a solution, offer suggestions, or offer evidence as to why you're changing. And then you can get us back, dude. You can always get us back.
I feel like it's so easy to be a guy because I mean, it's so easy to work with us. You know what I mean? Don't you know what we want?
No, they don't.
It's so simple.
Make us feel like you only love us. You'll never love anyone as much as us. Make us feel we're the most special woman in the room.
We are a princess. Just love us.
Just us.
Look
Only
inside
us.
yourself and examine what you did wrong. Then tell us you have changed.
We love that.
And we do. We really, really love it. Just show us examples of why, what you've done, and what you're doing to then not do that again. Right?
Amen.
No, it's interesting because
I remember hearing that on a Dr. Laura show.
What do you mean?
In the early aughts, I remember she's like, if you've cheated, I always say, do not tell the person unless you. She's like, because it will hurt them. What you need to do is go inside yourself, Tony. Go inside yourself and examine, what did you do wrong? Is it a one-time thing? Was it multiple times, or did you screw up one time? If it was truly just one time and you will never do it again, never breathe a word of it, live with the guilt.
Okay.
Which I like.
It's so hard to live with guilt.
But you got to forgive yourself for it, just the way you would want them to forgive you. But she's right. If you're never going to do it again, learn from it and be like, no.
But if it was like a repeated thing and you want to work on it or whatever, she was basically saying regret, remorse, and then restitution.
Rebuild.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like you have to say, I truly regret what I did. Brad needs to say, I examined myself, then the remorse about it, right? So like I truly feel sorry.
I won't talk to my kids anymore that I had with that woman.
I think it's restitution or like rebuilding. Like,
yeah,
you said, like, what are the actions?
Reparations.
Yes, and there's a piece in there too about empathy. You have to tell your partner, whoever it is, I could see how that would have hurt you. I left you for this other woman on a film set. We had a family together. You and I never had a family.
You should check it out. It's called Mr. and Mrs. Smith, now on DVD and Blu-ray. You can watch it all go down.
So basically,
we fell in love in the opening scene, which we shot out of sequence, so it was further on through the production. But I swear to God, it wasn't. There was nothing until that opening scene.
And that picture of me holding her hand in all the tabloids when we were offset, I just can see how that would have really upset you.
Yeah,
holding hands offset.
Listen, Justin Timberlake got into a little trouble with that too.
Yep.
Offset, and apparently,
he was holding hands with Offset.
Yeah, he was holding hands with rapper Offset on set. And no, Justin Timberlake, if you don't know, got into some trouble in New Orleans where he was shooting a movie. And his co-star, who I guess is his love interest in the film, they were all hanging out in New Orleans on a balcony, like one of the balconies where you can just see from the street if you've ever been to like Bourbon Street. I don't know if it was on Bourbon Street, but it seemed to be a very easily accessible to photograph balcony. And he was holding hands with his co-star and kind of like gazing at her affectionately. And there was multiple photos of it. So it was like over extended amount of time of them flirtily holding hands. And it was everywhere. And he made an apology about it. And he was embarrassed and all these things. And apparently it was like not that big of it was just a drunken thing. Like it was a thing that it was like he was just I think the issue there was more that he was wasted enough for that to happen, as opposed to he doesn't love his wife enough for that to happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was more embarrassing because it was like it wasn't a real thing. It's just like, because that's always the thing I think about when guys cheat when they're sober. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, like when guys are like, I made out with a girl or I slept with this girl, and you're like, were you wasted? And they're like, no, I was sober. It's like, oh, you fucking hate me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, at least be drunk for it. At least have an excuse. So I think that
it should be over 4 drinks. If it's under 4 drinks, it's a terrible, terrible thing that you've done. But if it's over 4 drinks,
you have a drinking problem.
Terrible.
You don't have a cheating problem. You have a drinking problem. If you're so blacked out that you're sleeping with other people.
I hate when you watch in movies and stuff and somebody cheats. It's usually the guy and the woman goes, "Do you love her?" And I'm like, "You still fucking cheated." You know what I mean? It's still. I don't know if that would really affect anything for me. I'd still be like,
that's in chapter 3 of Esther Perel's book. Actually.
Is it really?
She talks about how women are much more hurt by emotional entanglements.
Yeah.
Not that they aren't hurt, but men will not forgive. They're much less likely to forgive a physical, indiscretion.
Yeah, I wouldn't care about, do you love her? Because if a guy just like cheated once, no, he doesn't love. Give me a break.
And also he's going to do it again. What? You didn't love her? That makes it okay? No.
Kind of. Like, I tend to think that if a guy cheats physically just to like get off, that there's some kind of like deficit in our relationship in that regard, and he needed to like get laid. I'm obviously not, we're not being intimate in that way. There was a reason for him to go out. But if the question, do you like her, love her, whatever that question is, and he says yes, then there's a deficiency in another way in our relationship. But like, I don't know. We were talking about this last night. I just don't, and I've said this a million times on the show, I truly don't care if a guy hooks up with other women. If it's just purely physical,
what if he's your husband?
I don't think I'll care.
That's kind of nice.
I have to say though,
I wish I was like that.
If it's a movie set and it's Justin Timberlake on a balcony holding hands with a girl and seeming to have an affectionate moment, that would break my fucking heart, because those pictures looked like he has a crush on her. However, if he was like, babe, I was wasted, I love you to death, we have kids together, it was a moment, we had a sex scene earlier that day that I had to get in this kind of mindset for. Then we went out and partied, and I had a flirtation with her, and she made me feel attractive, and maybe I'm feeling less attractive in our relationship because we've been together a while. Okay, listen, I get it.
So the explanation, once again, it's the explanation that helps.
Yes.
If
it comes from if you're in, but then again, if he goes, I'm in love with my co-star, I'm Brad Pitt, and I'm in love with Angelina. I'm sorry, I fell in love. I want to have kids with her. Bye.
That almost sounds easier. I need something like hardcore. Either you're a dick or you're madly in love with her, and then I'm like, well, this is out of my thing. I can't do anything about this.
And I'd be upset that how embarrassing how it made me look.
Right.
You like, if my husband cheated on me openly, and like people knew about it, he made out with someone in front of my friends or something, like drunkenly, I'd be like, what do you do? You know, that would hurt me, because I'm like, that would, but.
Do you think you'd have to go just do something just to balance it out?
No. Do you feel that way?
I don't know. Part of me sometimes does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say absolutely no on that one, because I think there might be a little place for
revenge.
My very first boyfriend cheated on me like within the first year. This is when I was like a teenager still. And I remember years later, I felt like I have a get out of jail free card. Like, I get to exercise that. And I did. At the very end, I cheated, and then I broke up with him the next day.
Right. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, you cheated on him because you obviously wanted out, and you didn't know, though, that was like, you told a friend about it.
Yes, I told my best friend. And I was agonizing
Your
over
best friend at the time.
My best friend at the time. I sadly did
I
not
wasn't
have
around.
Nikki Glaser in
I
my
wasn't
life
around yet.
Yeah, you weren't born yet. I told my best friend, and she was like, "You're breaking up with him, obviously." And I was like, "Well, we'll get around to it."
It was actually the baby you conceived when you cheated. I was soon to be around. Oh, I wish.
But I loved this guy. I thought I loved this guy. I had a crush on who I cheated with.
Why'd you cheat on him then?
No, I loved my boyfriend.
Oh, the guy
but
that you cheated on.
We had grown to be like brother and sister almost at this point. It had been many years, and I think I had
He looked like Charles Manson.
No.
That was your boyfriend.
I know, but I don't think he did he?
But in a hot way, like a hot Charles Manson.
In a non-killer
way. The one that
way.
all those girls fell for.
He was a wonderful man. He really was.
Yeah.
And still is. But anyway, yeah, I never told him. I told my best friend I had this crush on this guy that I was doing radio with at the time. And she's like, "You can't go back to your relationship. Are you crazy? That you've done a terrible thing. You're breaking up with him tomorrow." And I was like, "Really? Can't I just like let it do the slow fade, like maybe in a month?" And she's like, "No, absolutely not."
Huh.
And it was the best thing to have a friend like that. I like these friends. You're like China, my friend.
I am?
Yeah, you're very black and white. You're like, "No, this is how it's done." You're very decisive. I'm that like loosey-goosey Libra. Like, I don't know.
Too.
What
but
do I
you know
do?
what? Sometimes the loosey-goosey helps, because by the time you break up, you're kind of already over that person. Whereas if I do it like quick like that, I'm like, did I do the right thing?
Yes.
I know. I second-guessed myself for months. I wept. Yep. And I mean, it was the best thing in retrospect. But yeah, I didn't mean to break up with him. I wrote him a birthday card because the next day was his birthday. And the card was like, "Thank you so much for all these years together. I've learned so much." And he like read the card, and then he looked at me and he goes, "This feels like a breakup card." Oh, and then I just started crying.
You were like, just wait till you get to the PS. That's where I added it on. I wrote this card before I cheated on you, and then I wrote a little addendum on the back. You know when you write up the side of the card because you run out of space? So it's just crawling up the side. PS, we're done. I cheated. I went to a matchmaker the other day on Tuesday night. And I don't think I've talked about this on the show yet.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, you left on Tuesday, so you left town so you didn't hear about this. I got
How did it go? Coffee. You guys had coffee with the woman who's setting you up with this nice Jewish man who lives in the West Village.
Is this the famous woman that was in the New York Times?
Definitely
kind of a big
not.
Deal? Oh.
This woman, she wrote to me on Instagram, DM'd me. She wrote in her story, Nikki Glaser, can you know Nikki Glaser? I have a match for her. I have someone to set her up with. She also DM'd me. She also found a friend of my sister's from high school who she knows, who then texted me with this woman. So this woman has contacted me on all places. Finally, I go, okay, yes, I will meet with you. I was like, Soho, please. I wanted it to be as close to my apartment as possible. I didn't want to give any effort because she said she wouldn't tell me what he looked like until I met with her, or until I would have to meet with her, hear about him, and she can't show me what he looks like ever until I would meet him. So this is how she wrote to me initially and described the man. Let me just say, he's great. He's age appropriate. Age appropriate. Let's focus on that. He's great. He's age appropriate. Lives in NYC in a gorgeous place in the West Village. Does a ton of business in LA, so he's there a ton. She thinks I live in LA at this point. He's Jewish. I think she thinks I'm Jewish at this point. Very close with his family. She thinks I give a shit. A really thoughtful guy. Has a nice circle of quality friends. So do I. Don't need him. Loves to travel. I do it for work. Don't need that. Is an entrepreneur. All right. He's tall, above 6 feet. I don't really care, but cool. Funny. I doubt it. Charismatic. Great. And an art collector. Don't care. And savvy, too. Don't know what that means. But listen.
Sounds like the guy from The Prophet.
I know. Dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I wish. I wish it were Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet. But you're right. It does sound like him.
Yeah.
It does.
So I was like, okay, all these actually sound pretty good. All of these things. And if this guy, he actually he gave her my name to be like, hey, will you reach out to her? He doesn't have social media, so he couldn't DM me. Because I meet with this woman. I go, okay, great. I'm in New York, actually. Can I not see what he looks like before I meet him? Is that the rule? She said, yep, but I can tell you all about him. I've run a background check, been to his home, had a meal with him too, so he's totally normal. Interested? She goes, I figure why not? And if not, it's good material for you. Well, you're right about that.
Does he have a family? Has he been married before? Does he have children?
We'll get to all of that.
Okay.
Wow, she
said, hi again. Just want to follow up and see if you're interested. I go, yeah, I can meet with you next week, Wednesday or Thursday in New York. She said, yes. She texted me. So we decided to meet up. And she picks a place that's literally a block from my house. So I was like, fuck yeah. It's a little cute hotel that is a sceney place that I should probably know, but I don't. I don't really care about these places. She's like, meet me in the drawing room. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I just walked in the lobby. I'm like, where's the drawing room?
Are you guys playing Clue?
She goes, she was there with a
Knife.
What's the god damn it?
Gavel?
No, the candlestick. Is that what someone murdered someone with? I should have just let you say knife and let it leave with that because that was good.
I hate myself for not saying candlestick.
So Colonel Mustard and her were sitting in the drawing room, the solarium. I went in the drawing room. She goes, it's more private there. We can have a private talk. I was like, I don't really care if it's private. I'm not trying to hide anything. But it was nice of her to pick. It was a cute little room. I walk in 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And maybe it's Wednesday. I don't really remember. Wednesday. And she is with a guy. The guy is there. I see a guy that she's described. And I'm like, oh my God, did I not read the text right? What's going on here? I walk in and I go, I'm literally ready to turn around and walk away because I didn't see the guy until I saw her. And so I was like, and I was like, and I look not cute either. Not that I would even care, but I was not dressed up to impress a guy. Not that I do that anymore. But And she goes, oh, this is just my husband. And I go, okay, a little heads up would have been nice. I was like, I almost just left. I was like, I literally almost said, you're a matchmaker. Why would you have your husband meet you with like that? I'm already feeling very vulnerable here. And then I see this guy. I was just like, didn't feel good about it. And I go, well, he's very handsome. I'm sorry I freaked out. Like, you obviously are a great guy. And she was like, oh, he'll be talking about that forever. And then she's stunning, wearing this amazing outfit, jewelry on, full, like, just looks great. Maybe she doesn't have a ton of makeup on, but she doesn't need it. And she goes, sorry, I look homeless. And I'm like, oh, one of these? Okay. I go, she goes, apparently I look homeless. I go, who said that you look homeless? And she goes, my husband. I'm like, okay, well, I don't trust your picker then. If you've chosen a guy that would tell you look homeless. He didn't tell her that. She did. She's one of these women that thinks she looks homeless, even though she's wearing like Gucci, like she's like, and obviously if she thinks she looks homeless, dude, I was wearing. So she tells me about this guy. She gets started. First of all, we sit down and she goes, so what do you do?
Come on.
I'm like, you've reached out to me on every social platform. You've found me through my friend. How have you not Googled what I do? And she really didn't. She had no idea. She goes, oh, wow. And I go, I'm getting ready to do a tour. I'm developing a couple shows. I have a radio show every day. I don't really have fucking time to do this.
If you're not ready.
Insane that she asked you that.
She goes, so what do you do? So I have to tell her what I do. Like, we're on a fucking date, which is fine. Maybe it doesn't matter. So then she goes, she's telling me about the guy, and she's like, he's, I've known him for a while. And I'm like, how long have you known this guy? How long has he been in your database that you've been trying to find someone for him? She's been trying to set him up for a year, she said. So it's probably 3 years. Mm-hmm. He's dated 4 different women that she set him up with. They only last 3 months, and then these girls just want to be friends with him. She goes, so he's not looking for a friend, but like he is like someone in the business who like would be a good person to know. And I'm like, he's in the like he's in show business, I guess. I don't know in what way. I'm almost a little intrigued. She's telling me about him. He seems very nice. He seems like he's handsome, all these things. She goes, you know what? He could talk to you about anything. He's really like a Renaissance man. Like he could talk to you about this art that's on the wall. Like he could talk to you, tell you all about what's going on here. He could talk to you about your sweater for like an hour.
So he talks too much.
Yeah.
Also, why are the women leaving? You know what I mean? Why do they want to be just friends? What's going on down there?
I know. Exactly. That's a great question. You did a background check, but did you do an underwear check? That's a really good point.
Because most of the time, the guy, not that
I've looked at his penis, everything's fine. Like that would make me feel so much better if she was like, I've gone to the doctor with him. We've had a full medical examination. He doesn't have a mangled dick.
Oh, my God.
Well, if a girl wants to leave after 3 months and there's 3 of them and he's a great catch, what's going on?
What's going on? Well, we find out. So she goes, he could talk to, she goes, he could talk to you about your sweater for an hour. And I go, well, it's from Goodwill and originally H&M. So that's the end of that conversation. I was like, I'm trash. Like, I don't want to talk about my sweater with any man for an hour. That does not interest me. So already I'm like, I go, this guy sounds pretentious to me. Like an art collector wants to talk about art and clothing. I don't really like brands. I don't like expensive things. Like I don't care about luxury. She goes, oh my God, like he doesn't either. Like you would never catch him at the chandelier room. Or she's mentioned some room that I'm like, I don't even know what that is. She was like, he would never be spotted there.
The billiard
like,
room.
Ever.
He only prefers the drawing room.
She goes, he would like be more of a guy that's like at Destidi. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
You're like, Gristides?
Target?
Like she was saying some Italian restaurant that like apparently is just like easy. And I'm like, I don't even know that. Like I would want a guy that eats Chipotle for every meal. Like that's the kind of guy I'm looking for. So she mentioned some place that even sounded too high end for me as to like be like, he's cool. He just goes to La Lanterna like every night and then just like hangs out there. He's like, oh, this is my favorite part. I go, he sounds like really, I don't know. I'm nervous that like I'm kind of a basic person. Like I don't really like the finer things in life. Like obviously I like that, but he sounds like a rich guy who like appreciates opulence. And she goes, no, seriously, he is so down key. So she mixed up down to earth and low key. So she said he was down key, which I noted. I just go down key, down key, down key. It was the same thing I do when I'm on stage and I say something funny.
Donkey?
I go, yeah, he's very donkey. He's so down key.
He loves donkeys.
I gotta finish this before.
Yes.
So then I go, you know what? I'll do it. Not I'll do it, but I'm like, I actually didn't agree to it. I go, let me think about it. But in my mind, I'm like, listen, for the story, I'm going to go out with this guy. I've already invested this amount of time. Why not meet this guy? Who cares? What am I going to lose? And she goes, how old are you? And I'm like, what? And she goes, how old are you? And I'm like, can we just, is this like such a terrible thing to ask?
Do you have TMJ?
I realized, yeah. Are you doing some kind of diet where your mouth is wired shut? You homeless woman. So she's like, how old are you? And obviously now I know why she wanted to go to the drawing room and have privacy, because she was going to at some point ask a woman how old she was. And I go, I'm 35. And she goes, oh, perfect. Perfect. He's 52. And I go, I instantly go, no. No.
And she said age appropriate and didn't even know your age.
Age appropriate. I have it right here. Age appropriate. So either she thinks 52 is age appropriate for a 35-year-old, or she thinks I'm a lot older based on my pictures online, which is something I realized that I'm kind of upset about.
I don't think it's that. No. I think she's just trying to like say whatever. You're like, I'm down earth. He's too. He likes
age appropriate, but that's what she said in the Instagram message to me before she knew my age, which is easily Googleable, by the way.
Babe,
my age.
If you were 28, she would say this is age appropriate.
Yeah.
We're living in a patriarchy.
I hate this, but wait till you hear this.
Okay.
So I go, old, too old. And she goes, really? And I go, yeah. I go, I'm sorry. And she goes, okay. And she goes, but he looks 42. And I go, too old. I'm sorry. Like 7 years, not too old, but still, that's 7 years older than I am. He looks 7 years older than I am. And suddenly that's like, now it's okay. It's like, I don't understand if it was reversed. If a 35-year-old man went to meet a matchmaker who had a match for him, and she dropped that the woman was 52, the guy would flip the table and burn the Crosby Hotel down to the ground.
Yes.
And it was the flames would have started in the drawing room. We'd be able to trace it. I'm sorry, 52 is not age appropriate for a 35-year-old woman. I was really offended. Not that I couldn't love a 52-year-old man. Carmen, you know me. I can love anyone. If I get to know someone, age doesn't really matter.
You need to be a little more down key, I think.
Yeah, this guy, more down key.
I need to be.
Have you seen any movies, by the way? Any rom-coms? They're all 52 and 35.
I understand this, but wait till you hear this.
Okay.
This is the fucking clincher, dude. So she's getting a little offended that I'm even like not considering this man anymore, because I'm literally not. I'm like, I'm out. 52 is too old. And she goes, okay. And she's getting a little bit defensive. She goes, oh, so your last relationship, how old was your last boyfriend? And I go, I guess he's 38 now. And she goes, young. That's her reaction to me dating a man 3 years older than me is, ooh, robbing the cradle. That's what it's come to as a woman, is that when you date a man who literally would have been a senior when you were a freshman in high school, you are somehow robbing the cradle. You're a cougar now to date a guy who is older than you. Like, she said it like, good job, girl. You got a young one. I'm younger than him. What is going on?
How old
what
was
is
her?
going on?
How old was her husband? 80?
He was older than her for sure. Yeah, that is. This is the problem.
It's gross.
When you get to be a 35-year-old woman, every man your age is dating women who are in their early 20s. So there are no men your age that want you. They all, and then, sorry, we have to go to break. Then she goes, I feel like I'm being a little mean about this guy. And I go, what is he looking for? I just tried to ask a question, which she seemed to be like, you're asking a question about him? Why are you not just like gung-ho already? It just, for some reason, women are just supposed to, like, if a guy's rich and successful, we're supposed to do we should be so lucky. I go, I'm not on the fucking Bachelor. I'm not walking out of the limo just surrendering to whatever man you put in front of me, which by the way, The Bachelor, that show, girls, I want one woman to go on that show and walk out of the limo and go, no, I'm not feeling it, and get back in.
I'm out.
It's never happened. They're just somehow everyone on that show is just like, should be happy a guy even likes you. So I asked one question about this guy. I go, what is he looking for? And she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, not like UFOs or like Sasquatch. What is he like in a commitment? That seems to be a normal question, but she seemed like a little off put by it. And she goes, no, he wants to get married and have kids. And I go, oh, I don't want kids. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, why is it a foregone conclusion that I'm going to date an elderly man and have his babies for him right away? I am a fucking successful career. If you would have Googled me even for a second, you would see that I demand much more than this.
But how did she think this guy was perfect for you if she knew nothing about you?
Because he thinks he's perfect for me because he heard me on fucking one podcast probably and doesn't know anything. He probably heard me on Rogan and is like all these guys, they write me these diatribes of like, I know who you are, we'll be perfect for each other. And I'm like, no, you don't know me. You heard me on one podcast where I was putting on an affect because I'm performing a little bit. I am sincere on these things and I am myself, but you don't know me. Stop it.
Ugh.
So then I go, what? And I go, I don't want kids. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, seriously, you can do it with a nanny. Like, I was like, I'm too busy. And she goes, he believes in 1.5 nannies for every child. And I was like, and she goes, isn't that hilarious? I was like, I don't even know what that means. And I was like, it means he wants 3 nannies per 2 kids. It's not that hard to figure. Like, it's like, but I think that was some like thing that he thought was funny. And she was like, isn't he funny? Like 1.5 nannies per kid. Like, what does that even mean?
Oh, that's even worse when they're a fan and they're trying to be funny. No, he's going to try and be funny with you all the time.
Exactly. I was like, I go, is he funny? And she goes, not as funny as you. And I go, well, you haven't laughed at a single thing I've said, so I don't really trust your judgment. So maybe he is hilarious. I was being so funny because at this point, I literally said to her, I go, I got to be honest with you. And because I was getting a little cocky and I was like, this 52-year-old thing I wasn't liking. I leaned back in my chair and I go, I got to be honest with you. I'm getting thrown a lot of dick right now in my life. I go, I'm in a lot of podcasts. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about being single. If I go through my DMs right now, I'm probably getting more clients than you are. Like in terms of like I get so many guys wanting to be my. I don't need this right now. I got a little cocky, and it was actually helpful to leave and actually have answered what I'm looking for in a man, see what I'm not looking for, know that I don't need this, and realizing that like I have more value than a 52-year-old guy who's paying for someone to find him love. And I was just so irritated and so disheartened at the state. If I'm a woman, I've got a lot going on and I am like a fucking catch. And if I'm being treated like you should be so happy that a 52-year-old man who's been rejected by 3 women in a year likes you, it's not looking good for any other women out there. It really isn't. We got to stand up for ourselves and do not accept these scraps. Thank you so much for watching that clip that you just watched. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. If you did, thumbs up it. Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you just keep watching more videos? Let them play. Share with your friends. Go share on your Instagram story. Go just have a great day.